Well, guys, we just finished. I mean, like last night, we just finished. Like, seriously, we're getting right back into it. But I want to talk to you real quick about a couple things we learned while we were prepping the old OBS. That doesn't make any sense because O stands for old. All right. We're just going to talk about a couple things we learned while we were getting things ready for a bed liner. Here's your Tuesday morning tech tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. All right, guys, I might be a little tired because I was here till, I don't know, like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then try to get down here early and, finish this thing up before I go back to stupid work. But we learned a few things, guys. No matter how much you prep, I swear it's never enough, So when we were messing with the tailgate, like originally, like a couple months ago, we were bending stuff back and trying to make everything work right. I never even looked for new parts, right? And then when I saw how bad this guy was, I mean, Maron, right? Forget about it. This guy is just trash. I said, man, I should have taken one out of the junkyard, which is 100% true. I think it probably would cost me about $4. If I didn't forget to take it out of my bag when I got to, not that I've ever done that. Don't take that the wrong way. But, yeah. I didn't think about it then, and now, I don't know how I didn't notice it, because I had the tailgate off, if I remember correctly, and I was bending things back and trying to because the other side was jacked up. Well, it was a lot of stuff trying to get that tailgate to open and close. Just little nitnoid, pilly little stuff, and it's been open and closing great. We have had no problems, so that's awesome. But now we found that it's real easy to get replacements for this, and it doesn't require getting online and waiting forever. It doesn't require any of the things that I've done in the past. Going to junkyards that are like 50 miles away because there's none really right around here. Well, actually there is, but their hours are terrible. Like, they're only open while I'm at work, and that's just not good business, I think I'm getting off track, so I'm going to sit down, regroup a little bit, and we'll talk about what I really want to talk about. Guys, I think the only way to really get my point across is I got to break this down, because if you notice, my brain's not working the best this morning. It's kind of, I'm all over the place. But I'm going to tell you first what I did, and then I'm going to tell you what I should have done. So, I'm going to rewind back to when we were messing with the tailgate. When we pulled that off, I should have inspected everything, saw what was wrong, because that thing did not get this corroded in like the last month. This is not new, right? So I should have seen that then, and then I should have looked into getting parts, and then I should have inspected the rest of the system there, right? Because if you remember, the handle was jacked up, and we were able to get that working right. Took a little doing, some tweaking and whatnot, adjusting, got that working good. We don't have the bezel. I have it now. I bought it. It was like $7 or $8. Haven't put it on yet because we're not done messing with all that. And then it's working. And now it doesn't sit perfect. It's off a little bit. And you got to jiggle it sometimes, but we're working with something that would not even open before, if you guys remember. So, yeah, I'm okay with how it's operating. That being said, had I gone through, like I just said, inspected everything, I would have seen that this thing was trash. And the first thing I pulled up, guys, last night when I was messing around and said, "Oh, can I find this other part?" I looked for this hinge, and a kit came up. It had the bezel, the handle, both cables, and all 4 hinge pieces. Everything you need to basically rebuild a tailgate, to line it everything perfectly, for $53. It's right here. So, what I would have done is I would have bought that, because I think I'm into it for $50 right now. I spent $7 or $8 for that bezel, and what I bought last night was $39 after it was like taxed and it was free shipping, but they include that, you know. So I'm into it for about the same money, and I would have had this months ago, and I wouldn't be waiting on it right now, right? But here's what I did. As you know, we tweaked our stuff and got things working, and it seems to be okay. Well, then when I pulled this apart, I was like, well, I'm not going to coat all this, and I'm going to fix some of the paint, some of the rust that's there and stuff. So I'm not going to do all that and then not put on new hinges and put this rusted piece of crap back on. So last night I jumped on the old interwebs and started looking around. I saw the $53 one, and I'm like, whoa, right? And then I found AutoZone had them $26 just for the parts that go onto the body itself, onto the bed. And then it was like, I don't think they had the ones. Now that was $26, right, for that. And I could shoot down here. The guy right in town had it. There was a bunch of them online. And I do like this. eBay nowadays, I'm a big eBay fan, guys. I have been for, since they come out. I bought my 53 Pontiac off eBay. I mean, and I think they're doing good things. Even better now, and I'm getting off track, I know that. But when you Google, not Google, but you search what you want and everything comes up, it tells you where it's shipping from, whether it's coming from the U.S. or China or whatever. So that's awesome, because that definitely helps with shipping. I bought something that I thought was coming from like California. It came from China. It took like a month. Everything else was here like in a week. So just a little tip there. So there was two of them, the complete kit, all 4 pieces, one coming from Kansas, one coming from California. And the one kept saying it didn't fit the truck, which wasn't right. They had it listed wrong. But then I got in my own head, and I'm like, oh, well, if they have it listed wrong, maybe they just... So I ordered the one. The one was $30 that was listed wrong, and then $39.71 for the other one. So whatever, $40. That's the one I bought because I figured it'd be better. Well, no. It's probably going to be the exact same thing. I just felt that this guy had his shit together a little better because it actually came what they were supposed to fit, and so I didn't want any confusions. I can't stand getting the wrong thing. I don't want to deal with that. After the whole not the headliner, but the sun visor debacle, we're done with that. So I ordered that, and here's the order I did things wrong. I ordered that, and then I went and kept messing with the tailgate, and I was pulling the old hinges off. That's why this guy's right here. Notice how this is the only one that's here. That's an important piece of information. So I pulled that one off. Ironically, that's the rustiest one. It came off actually pretty easy. I went to pull off the one on the other side of the bed. Top bolt came out. The bottom one, the anchor nut breaks. And it's just spinning. So I'm like, man, okay, well, I can, put some vice grips on the back of it. I can actually get to it. Little croil, probably get it off. If not, I can cut it and put a new anchor nut or put a nut there and weld it or whatever I got to do, right? That's always possible. So I was like, all right, I'll do that. I'll come back to that. Then I go to the tailgate, and I pull out both bolts on those hinges. And they don't want to, I think I showed on the video, it bent out. Because I was like, I put a screwdriver there and figured it was going to pop loose. It ain't popping loose. So then I went for the front, and I started hitting it with the hammer a little bit. And it ain't budging, guys. So I was like, before I make this worse, there's nothing wrong with this. I already made it round again. There was rust. I sanded that off, put some rust neutralizer on there, and I think we're going to go ahead and leave that alone. Leave well enough alone, right? That's what my mother always told me. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave it alone. So that's what we're going to do. And then I started thinking, well, if I'm leaving this alone, why am I going to do all this work on the other one when that thing's in good shape too? So I sanded that, put some neutralizer on it, and it looks good to go. So I'm just going to reinstall that top bolt, and we're going to call that good. So why did I buy all 4 of these pieces where I could have just shot to AutoZone or whatever it is locally for $20, grabbed the thing I needed? Instead, now I spent $40 and I'm waiting a couple days to get it. Of course, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, can I cancel this? Can't cancel it. It's already bought. And it's already processing, and now it's already got tracking. So actually, the guy is cool. At least he's shipping it super fast, so that's cool. But I'll have some extra parts, and who knows, maybe the stuff will break later or something like that, and I'll have it. So, basically what I'm saying is if I started off, when I started messing with this thing and actually learned all about the system and how all the parts it entailed and where you can get them and all that, I could have everything done brand new for $50. It would have been done months ago, and we wouldn't be waiting on nothing. So, it's all the old things, guys. You don't know what you don't know. You're never too old to learn something new. You're constantly learning. The more you mess with something, you're learning something. So, get out there and keep messing with stuff because you're going to keep learning. And if you can, learn from my mistakes so you don't got to make them and you can save a couple dollars. Because now I'm out $40 and I'm waiting. And honestly, guys, if I knew this was all jacked up when I went to the junkyard with old Wade months ago when I bought the other stuff. We had up, how many? 2, 3 junkyards? I've been two junkyards we went to that day. And there were tailgates all over the place. I could have easily popped these off as 2 bolts. So, there it is, guys. Before you dive into a project, get an assessment of everything. Take your time. I know, and it seems like I try to, but you always miss something, man. So go back and double check. Take your time. Look everything over and make sure you're not missing nothing. Because it's a lot easier to just, at the beginning, make sure you got it all, rather than coming back and forth and pulling things back off a couple times or whatever that might be. So learn from my mistakes. This way, you don't got to make none. You can make new and interesting mistakes. And if you do, leave a comment on here and tell me what they are. So I don't make yours, you don't make mine, and together we're gonna bring hot rodding to a new level. I hope. Thanks for watching, guys.